Just the general public, so thank you for being here. As always, we're excited to bring this together as one large, comprehensive forum to get the information out there and try to be a resource. Get the word out to other people here that can't make it, because there will be coverage for this, obviously, on the People's Press website and in the paper. And then, of course, KRFO is going to be broadcasting the audio as well. With that, I think we're going to introduce Brad Meyer with the Chamber of Commerce. Let's give him a warm hand.
Well, good afternoon. Thanks, everybody, for attending today's candidate forum. It's great to have you here. Of course, this is the first of 4 this month, and so we're pleased to partner again with the Rotary Clubs and People's Press on this event. I also want to always give a special thanks to Todd Hale for helping coordinate everything. He's always ahead of the game on getting this put together, so thank you, Todd. The way this will work today is you all have pens and notepads at your table. Our moderator will kick things off with some questions, but you have the opportunity to ask your own, so we ask you to write them down and just kind of hold it up. If you've got it ready, we'll collect them and we'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the forum. With that, we'll invite the candidates to come up to your spot here on stage, and I'm going to turn it over to our moderator today, Mr. Jeffrey Jackson with the Owatonna People's Press. Jeffrey.
Thank you. You may notice that we have, that's loud. You may notice that we have 5 candidates who will be here this morning. There are 7 actual candidates on the ballot for in November, but 2 of the candidates, Eric Schuster and Dale Fairbanks, were unable to be here today, and they did call and let us know that they could not be here with us today. So there are just the 5 candidates who are with us at this time. Gentlemen, welcome. We are going to ask you to share the microphones that are in front of you. Mr. Sebring, we know you have a nice booming voice, which is good because you're going to have to really speak up in that microphone that you have. If for some reason they can't hear you at the back, we'll get one of the other microphones to you. Gentlemen, here are the rules, the format for this candidate forum. No question has been provided to the candidates in advance. Candidates, you will be given 2 minutes at the beginning of this forum to have some opening comments to the public. Then the candidates will alternate response to each question that I ask, and then you will be allowed for the answers 1 minute for each question. The timer is Sharon West, who is sitting at this table. She will hold up a yellow card like that when you have 30 seconds left. She will hold up a red card indicating stop when your time is up. And if you do go over, I will cut you off. So just be prepared. Then at the end of the forum, we will have time for closing statements, and you will be allowed 2 minutes for your closing statement. So to begin with the opening questions, we will have, I believe we have David Anderson, Ronald Van Nerden, Keenan Wall, known as KJ Wall, then Bill Wall and Mark Sebring. Bill Wall and Mark Sebring are both running for the 2-year term. The other 3 candidates, as well as the 2 who are not with us today, are running for 4-year terms. Gentlemen, are you ready? All right, Mr. Anderson, we will begin with you, and for your 2-minute opening statement.
Hello, everyone here okay? Well, thank you and welcome for having this. Thanks to the People's Press, the Rotary Club, both the noon and the morning Rotary Club, as well as the Chamber. I know a lot of you in this room. I was a member of Rotary for quite a number of years, so I know most of you. For those who don't know me, I'm Dave Anderson. I am a current school board member, and certainly am interested in continuing to serve, and have taken the opportunity to serve on the school board. If I look at the next year, we have quite a few different things we need to accomplish within the schools. One, the schools certainly increasing student achievement is a critical part of schools, and that's why we're on the school board. 2, we're going to have to hire a new superintendent. We have an interim superintendent right now, so we're going to have to do something there. 3, we have $1.2 million budgeted to cut for this next fiscal year. That's certainly going to be a challenge, so we're going to have to spend some time there. 4th, we really need to work to build a stronger relationship with the community. We, over the last couple of years, have kind of weaned a little bit in that area. We need to increase our trust and relationship with the community. And then we're going to have to start preparing for a levy vote. We aren't going to do a levy vote this year, but our current levy is set to expire in a couple of years, so we're going to have to be prepared to start the groundwork to make that happen. So if I kind of back up a little bit and talk a little bit more about increasing student achievement, we're doing things like STEM and options and Montessori and 9th grade academy. We have a bunch of things we're doing, and we're going to need to continue to find more creative ways to address the needs of our students, and more creative, different ways to teach our students. We have an achievement gap between our minority and non-minority students. We're going to have to work hard to fix that. Obviously, hiring a superintendent is going to be a pretty critical element.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Van Nerden.
Thank you. I'm just going to introduce myself and a little bit about me, because I don't think most of you do know me very well. So I'm running for the 4-year position, as was mentioned. And I'm a retired farm business management instructor with Riverland Community College. And I've had experience in teaching agriculture at 3 educational levels: high school, post-secondary, and adult. 3 of the 4 educational levels. As a farm business management instructor, I taught farmers accounting, record keeping, record analysis, cash flow budgeting, long-range planning, and a whole host of other topics related to managing a farm. Most of my instruction was delivered on site, which means that the farmers that I worked with applied the economic principles taught to their own personal farming operation. During that time, there always seemed to be farmers who would have some financial crisis or some financial issues that they had to deal with. And I was very involved with helping farm families figure out how to solve the financial problems that they might have. And since agriculture is a very cyclical business, I think I discovered anyway, that most of the families that I worked with at some point in time had some problem, some economic problem that needed to be resolved. My wife Lynn and I have 4 children who have very successful careers. Chris, my oldest daughter, is in the ministry. My son Paul is a swine consultant. My son Andrew works with soybean genetics. And my daughter Kara is a biology educator. One of the reasons that I'm running for the school board is because I feel the rural community needs to be represented on the school board. I've lived in rural areas all my life and worked with farm families most of my professional career. My family's been involved in the 4-H and the FFA program for rural youth, and these connections and others help me feel that I can successfully represent.
Thank you, sir. Mr. K.J. Wall.
All right, hi, my name's K.J. Wall, or Keenan Wall. November, you have to remember the Keenan part of it, I guess. And I'm currently serving on the board and have the role of treasurer in addition to the board duties. And you know, I've been married to my wife Katie for 16 going on 17 years, and we have 2 kids. Both of them are in the school system now. My son Keenan, he's 8 and he's a 3rd grader at Washington, and my daughter Lily just turned, she's 5 and she's in kindergarten. And that's really the reason that I'm most interested in the school board position. My children are part of the school district. I work for a company that values education and looks to Owatonna graduates for future employers. So that's really the motivation for me participating in the board. Currently, I'm a senior legal counsel at Federated Insurance, and I've been in that position since 2008, so I'm going on my 5th year there. And it's really been surprising to me how much of the work that I do at Federated transfers to the school board. You know, got problems, we have to look into and identify ways to solve those problems. and then we have to get everybody on the same page and move forward to implement the solutions. That's what I do at work. That's what I've ended up doing on the school board. So those skills, I guess, problem solving, analysis, and communication have really carried over well from work to the school board. You know, everybody's got problems. You just put a different label on it. It's what I'm finding out. And so I think those skills, along with the tenure on my board so far, have made me qualified for the position. And you know, I look forward to answering some of the questions about the issues. But as maybe Dave touched on, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bill Wall.
Before my time starts, we're same name, not related. Just to let you know. Okay, now you can start.
What is that? What are you trying to say?
We have a great school system today, and we need to make sure we continue to invest those resources into it to keep it not just a good school system, but an outstanding school system. We have been going through some difficult times lately with some questions raised about the leadership of the system and some financial challenges that will require difficult choices. I know the current school board has struggled with those challenges and has made decisions and choices that they think are best. I'm not going to second guess those decisions except for one. The school board had the opportunity recently to put on the ballot a financing levy, and they chose not to do so. Based upon the news reports, that decision was made because it might be easier to get a successful levy in an off-election year. And I don't agree with that rationale. I think the levy should have been put on the ballot and left to the citizens of Owatonna to decide if we are willing to pay for the school system we have become accustomed to. I think if the vote was a straight-up decision about an operating levy that was the commitment this community has to its children, it would have succeeded. I believe it would have been better to have that question on the ballot when there will be a large turnout. Whatever the result, it would have reflected the will of the people. If approved, we would have the financing to help maintain the school and programs without additional deep cuts. Without the levy, I understand we need to make some additional cuts next year. That's going to require difficult decisions in the year ahead to remain fiscally solvent. Even if an operating levy is approved in another year, we'll have had a year of cuts and challenges that might have been avoided or reduced. If a ballot initiative this year was defeated, then the board could have taken that as a mandate. If the city agrees with making the additional cuts, and we would have been responding to the will of the people. Our students deserve our commitment to prepare them for the challenges they're going to face after school and to prepare them for success. Our teachers also deserve our commitment and support to help them provide an outstanding education to all our students. I'll do whatever possible to help demonstrate that commitment to our schools.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Sebring.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Sebring. I'm from Owatonna. I grew up here, and as I look at you, I sure recognize a lot of faces. And this is a nice opportunity, so thanks to the Rotary, thanks to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this. I'm a product of the Owatonna school system. I grew up, I graduated from OHS, attended the University of Minnesota, met my wife Barb there. We have two sons, both of whom are also graduates of OHS. I'm real happy, very proud to tell you that my boys came through the Owatonna school system. My youngest, Brian, is finishing up. He's in the home stretch in Fargo. He's at NDSU. And my youngest is a Badger. He's down in Madison, UW-Madison. He's a sophomore down there. I'm a member of Trinity Lutheran Church. I have served on the School District Foundation. I came into the foundation through the OHS Alumni Association. About 10 years ago, that was formed with the assistance of Mr. Herzog, and a number of us have served on that. So I have 5 years of experience with the School District Foundation, and it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I served on a task force that looked at the facilities here for the school district, and I feel like those have been two very good pieces of experience for me as I look forward to the opportunity to serve you on the school board. Thanks.
Thank you. And bonus points to Mr. Sebring for being the only one that I did not have to cut off. But minus points for forgetting to mention the fact that the People's Press also asked. But Mr. Sebring, we're going to start with you then. For the first question, we'll come back this way. Mr. Wall and Mr. Wall, I would remind you there's a microphone right in front of you that you two can share, and we will leave the other microphone for Mr. Anderson and Mr. Van Norden. First question, Mr. Sebring, we'll start with you. What are 2 or 3